Hello, fellow entrepreneurs. Welcome to my channel where I read and summarize books relating to being a better entrepreneur. I met no one who I thought was wise who didn't read. I believe reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. So today, we will be learning from Seth Godin's book, Purple Cow, Transform Your Business by Being Remarkable. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Guess what you'll see if you look at a field of cows? The view will most likely be black and white, with a few splotches of brown thrown in for good measure. However, none of these are likely to pique your interest. But now, imagine finding a purple cow in the field against all odds. It's safe to assume you'd notice, because a purple cow is truly remarkable. There's a lesson for all businesses here. If your products look like traditional black and white or even brown cows, you won't be able to attract anyone's attention. Instead, you must invent something unique, a purple cow. Part 1. Because there is so much of it, advertising is losing its effect. You may have noticed that the dynamics of marketing are undergoing a significant shift. When you used to turn on the television or read the newspaper, there were probably only a few products advertised. Because of their rarity, those products seemed inherently trustworthy. Today, however, a consumer is bombarded with advertisements because there are so many products being advertised in so many different ways. This has made capturing the attention of customers nearly impossible. This is because people are simply too busy to notice and focus on all of the advertising that surrounds them. Seth Godin illustrates this with the following anecdote. He once asked a few people in a nice hotel who were reading a newspaper to name 2 companies that had full-page advertisements in the paper. No one could recall even 2 of them. Consumers ignore marketing unless it meets their exact needs, which leads to this obliviousness. After all, you wouldn't pay attention to car ads unless you were in the market for a new vehicle. This also implies that traditional mass media advertising is becoming less effective. Let's say your company spends money on a television commercial. Yes, a large number of people will see it, but only a small percentage of that number will be interested in your product. Only a small percentage of those people are willing to pay attention to your advertisement. Finally, only a small percentage of this last group is interested in purchasing your product. Assume you're launching a new pain-relieving medication and want to promote it. The problem is that there are already a lot of pain relief brands on the market. This implies that you must overcome 3 challenges. To begin with, you must identify customers who are looking for a pain reliever. Secondly, you must identify those customers who are dissatisfied with the current options from this group. And finally, you must identify those individuals who will pay attention to what you have to say and purchase your product. These trends make it more difficult to reach out to your ideal customers and market your products. Part 2. Your product or service must be exceptional in order to stand out in today's world. The dynamics of advertising are changing. We can discern 3 distinct periods in the history of advertising: before, during, and after advertising. Let's look at each one in more detail. Before advertising. This is the oldest form of advertising, in which customers used word of mouth to recommend products and services that solve their problems to one another. People may have talked about the best vegetable seller on the market square, resulting in an influx of customers to her stand. During advertising. Advertising worked like magic in this era. The more you advertised, the more sales you got. Companies could buy advertisements to boost sales and profits, which could then be used to fund more advertising, creating a virtuous cycle. After the advertisement. This is the epoch in which we now live. We've gone back to relying on word-of-mouth advertising. However, social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook have made it possible for great products and services to spread quickly. In this new era, there is so much product choice that simply satisfying the customer's needs isn't enough. To truly stand out, you must be remarkable. Make your product or service a purple cow. Something unique and eye-catching to make it stand out in the market and be noticed right away. This type of marketing is known as remarkable marketing. The new Volkswagen Beetle is an excellent example of a purple cow. The relaunch of the original Beetle, which had been popular and profitable for over 15 years, was a challenge. It was, however, a huge success because of its distinctive shape and attractive colors, which helped it stand out from the other cars on the road. Great reviews and word of mouth helped to spread the word even further. Part 3. Taking risks is a safer strategy than avoiding them. You've probably seen a lot of amazing products and services, so you're aware that there are a lot of different ways to accomplish this. Most businesses, on the other hand, are hesitant to experiment with new ideas for becoming remarkable because they are afraid of failing. To succeed, you must overcome this fear, because boring products have no place in today's market. In a crowded market, failing to stand out is the same as becoming invisible. Take the Buick, for example. It's always been a boring car, with the manufacturer clearly choosing not to take any design risks. As a result, it's never been particularly popular. Consider the case of Andrew Weil, who exemplifies the importance of standing out in any field. He went to Harvard Medical School, where most students aspire to be the best doctor in the world. But, unlike his peers, Weil took a stand against the medical establishments by combining conventional and alternative medicine, a field that is frequently dismissed by the medical establishment. His bold decision paid off, and through his clinics, writing, and presentations, he's helped hundreds of thousands of people. Another popular, but ineffective, business strategy is to follow the leader, which entails imitating the actions of industry leaders. However, this strategy will never make you a leader. This is because the leader's success was most likely earned by taking risks and creating something unique. You will not be remarkable if you simply copy this. Companies that pursue this strategy will inevitably fail in the long run, because their market will change sooner or later, trapping them because they lack the experience to try new things. Consider the music industry. For a long time, record labels simply copied one another, producing nearly identical products with similar labeling, packaging, and so on. The record companies, on the other hand, felt trapped when the technological landscape changed, spawning, for example, online music stores, because they had no experience dealing with change. Part 4. Concentrate on customers who are willing to try new things as well as spread the word. So you've determined that you require a remarkable product. But how do you tell the world about it once you have one? To find the best method, you must first understand that a product will most likely be used by 5 groups of people. There are the innovators, who are eager to try new things and be on the cutting edge of technology. Then there are those who are early adopters. They're interested in new products because they want any benefit they can get from them. There are also the early and late majorities to consider. These are the pragmatists, who use tried and true products because everyone else does. These individuals make up the majority of the clientele. Finally, there are the laggards, who are hesitant to try new things and will only do so if they have no choice. The early and late majorities, according to conventional marketing wisdom, should be targeted first because they make up the largest segment. This, however, is a mistake because these people are hesitant to adopt new products before they become widely used. Instead, go after the early adopters. They're more likely to discover new products and, more importantly, they can spread the word about them. This means you should create your product in such a way that it appeals to early adopters and encourages them to spread the word. Consider digital cameras, which are more convenient and less expensive to operate than traditional film cameras. So how would you go about marketing them? To begin, you should focus your marketing efforts on technology enthusiasts and professional photographers, as they are the early adopters. This means they'll appreciate the benefits of your product and persuade others to use it as well. They may be able to attract customers from other segments. Ask yourself questions like, how easily can people recommend your product to others? To figure out how you can encourage people to spread the word about your product. And, does your target market discuss products they enjoy? Part 5. Marketing is about creating new products. Consider this. What exactly do you think marketing entails? Marketing has long been thought to be about communicating the value of products and services after they've been created. However, this is merely advertising. Much more is included in marketing. Marketing is all about coming up with new ideas for products. Every aspect of a successful product, design, production, pricing, and sales, is influenced by marketing considerations, which means how to make the product in such a way that people will talk about it. The CEO of the airline JetBlue, for example, requested that the head of marketing be involved in product design and employee training from the beginning. Furthermore, marketing entails identifying a competitive advantage, an edge, that will set you apart from the competition. To find your competitive advantage, you must test a variety of them, carefully comparing where your own and competitors' products differ in terms of pricing and promotion. Because your product is at the heart of marketing, you should come up with a simple and straightforward slogan that conveys the main message behind your product. Consider the Leaning Tower of Pisa, for example. Because its main message is so easy to spread, it's a leaning tower, it's a world-famous tourist attraction. This is the organization's slogan. Meanwhile, while the Pantheon in Rome is more beautiful and historically significant, it lacks a slogan and thus receives only 1% of the annual visitors that the Leaning Tower of Pisa does. The signature blue box in which Tiffany & Co. jewelry is packaged is another example of a great slogan, albeit one without words. It sends out an elegant and high-quality message, and every time someone gives it as a gift, they are promoting the brand. Part 6. Market to people who are looking for solutions to their problems. As you may have guessed, the majority of today's advertisements are ineffective. The people who see them are either uninterested in the product or aren't part of the early adopter segment, who are eager to spread the word about new products. So, what is it about the advertisements that work that makes them so special? What's more, how do you know if yours does? The key is to effectively target your ads. This is because, unlike in the past, marketers could choose who they wanted to reach. Today's overabundance of advertising forces customers to choose whether or not to listen to you. This means that your ad must target people who are looking for a solution, your solution, to their problems, and you can accomplish this by placing your ad in a location where they are looking. Google Ads, for example, works well in this regard because people type in search terms that reflect what they're looking for, and the ads are chosen to solve whatever problem they're expressing. You must measure the effectiveness of your marketing, regardless of how you advertise your product. This is the only way to figure out what works and what doesn't so you can improve your strategies. Zara, for example, keeps a close eye on how its products are received in stores and around the world, and adjusts its clothing selection every 3 or 4 weeks as needed. Remember that you can only improve what you can measure, so in addition to considering an action's effectiveness, you should always consider how much it will cost to measure it. Part 7. Many businesses are afraid of the criticism, ridicule, and change. Because they are afraid, many businesses find it difficult to stand out. Let's take a look at some of the things they're scared of. They're afraid of criticism for a variety of reasons. For starters, being remarkable means attracting criticism because you'll stand out from the crowd. The new Cadillac CTS, for example, has been widely panned for its appearance, despite the fact that it has sold well and well-liked by those who have purchased it. It's unavoidable that creating something exceptional attracts criticism. However, criticism does not imply failure. In fact, if you don't receive any criticism, you should be concerned, because it means you're playing it safe, which, as previously stated, is a recipe for failure. Secondly, many businesses are afraid of offending customers or appearing ridiculous if they are too bold. People may make fun of you because you are different. However, even if someone mocks your product, their mockery can go viral, further spreading the word about your product. However, being offensive or outrageous isn't something you should aim for on a regular basis, because it only works on rare occasions. Worse, it may cause a scandal, resulting in negative word of mouth, the last thing you want. And finally, perhaps the most significant concern that most large corporations have about creating purple cows is that it would necessitate a radical transformation of their existing infrastructure, such as factories. After all, once you figure out what will make you stand out, you'll have to do whatever it takes to get there, which often entails major changes. Brad Anderson, the CEO of electronics retailer Best Buy, is a prime example of overcoming this fear. To set his company apart from its competitors, Anderson overhauled the company's operations, beginning with selling what customers wanted rather than what the company wanted to sell. This paradigm shift necessitated significant changes to the company's infrastructure, which it had previously heavily invested in. There's no room for ordinary products or services in today's crowded marketplace. Either you're remarkable or you die. To be remarkable, you must be willing to take risks and not be afraid of being judged. When you're ready to start spreading the word about your amazing product or service, you'll want to target people who are both willing to try new things and eager to tell others about it. This wraps up the summary from the book, Purple Cow, Transform Your Business by Being Remarkable by Seth Godin. Thank you for sticking out through the very end of this video. Nothing helps out my channel more than y'all watching the entire video. These videos take a long time to make, and is a labor of love. If you would like to contribute by buying me a cup of coffee, I'll leave a link below along with a link to this book. And as always, if you'd like this video, please like and subscribe and watch these videos that might pique your interest. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, keep reading.